guys, it's Melanie. So today I have kind of an exciting video to share with you. I was able to get my hands on the new Tarte Color Wheel Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. I purchased this from the Tarte website as soon as it was released. It has since sold out on the Tarte website, but it is currently available on the Sephora website. So I will link it down below for you. This is the blush palette here. And the packaging this year is a little bit different from previous year's blush palettes. If you'll remember, for the last 3 or 4 years, they've done a more rectangular shaped blush palette with 5 larger pans of product. These are much smaller, and the packaging mirrors some of the other more like run-of-the-mill Tarte releases, if that makes sense. They do tend to favor this circular packaging, and I think that that's kind of the look that they're going for moving forward, if that makes sense. So this, by the way, is the Tarte Rainforest After Dark palette. I pulled this out not only to show you that the packaging, like the design, the circular design mirrors this year's holiday collection, but I also thought it might be kind of fun for you guys to see size comparison in terms of product within. So you can see that these blushes are fairly small. I will say that I was a little bit surprised when I first got this palette. I thought it would be just slightly bigger. I'm not disappointed because I do think that you are getting a good amount of product in here. So let's talk about a few of the stats so we can get that out of the way. This is a $44 blush palette. Right now, you can find it at Sephora.com. They should have this stuff in store very soon if they don't already. The Tarte website is currently out of stock, but they should probably be getting it back in stock. I do not know whether this will be sold at Ulta or not. I don't believe so. They have a different blush collection that they're releasing over at Ulta. This is supposed to be $150 value. There are 10 blushes in here. They are 0.084 ounces each. So you're getting a total of 2.4 grams of product in here. And just to kind of give you reference, a full-size Tarte blush is 0.20 ounces. So these are a little less than half the size of a full Tarte blush, but you're getting a good amount of variety here. You are obviously getting more shade selection than you have in previous year's releases, and you're getting two highlighter type shades, and it's this color here on the top, Idol, this guy, and then at the bottom there is one called Crafty. So I would definitely consider this a highlight shade, and you'll see in the swatch that it is more of a highlight shade than anything else. By the way, this is manufactured in China. So for those of you that care, this is not one of the Tarte products that is made in the US. And I'm just checking here really quickly. This Rainforest After Dark palette is manufactured in the US. So with a lot of holiday releases, they do outsource the manufacturing. I personally believe that sometimes quality suffers as a result of that, but I understand why companies do it because holiday collections need to be mass produced, and it's probably a lot more cost efficient to go through a Chinese factory, but I don't think that they always have the same formulation of the product, which is, I don't think that this is the exact same formulation as the Amazonian clay blushes that you can get individually, but I think it's a good formulation of blush for the price that you're paying for this set. So let me just say that. You'll kind of have to make your own determination whether you want to purchase this or not, knowing that it is not manufactured in the United States, where they manufacture their other eyeshadows, blushes, highlighters, etc. So something to make note of. Also, just because I have it sitting here in front of me, this did come with this little plastic divider. I tore mine off. It was attached to here, but I just thought this would be annoying to deal with. So you do get a divider if you want it. So let's go ahead and get into some swatches. By the way, I believe all of these colors are exclusive to this palette. So I'm just going to go around the wheel here and do some finger swatches for you guys. So this is the top portion of the palette here. I will also swatch them on my arm here. And I definitely, I mean, I got some good finger swatches in here. Oh, this one here sort of blended in with that pink one. Hang on. There we go. So there they are swatched on my arm. You can see that the pigmentation is, I would call this pigmentation good, not excellent. It is, to me, it's not the same as the individual blushes in terms of quality, but again, it's not bad. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my fingers off here and show you guys the bottom portion, and I'm trying to keep this video as quick as possible because I know there's no need to drag on and on about this. So this is the bottom portion here. These are a little bit more powdery than the individual blushes, and a lot of the colors in here are fairly similar. And I will say, if you are someone who is darker than like a medium skin tone, you might have to work quite a bit at building up the pigmentation. So keep that in mind if you have like medium tan skin tone and above. I don't know that you would get your money's worth from this, if that makes sense. I also found that the highlighter shades were a little bit more chunky than I would care for. So these two right here, so the Idol and the Crafty, are not going to be much use for me. I tend to prefer a creamier formula like the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, the pressed skin perfectors, and the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. I tend to prefer those formulations for highlighters, so I don't think I'm going to really get much use out of these, but I do like the blushes. I think that these two shades are, well, actually these shades, once you get them on, they are very similar. Today I am wearing the color Montage, which is this shade right here. So you can see what that looks like on my cheeks. I did have to build it up just a little bit, and I would consider my particular skin tone in the fair to light range. So I did have to build it up just a little bit. I think this is a great palette to get as a gift for somebody, especially someone who tends to be a collector of makeup or who tends to really like Tarte products in general. I think it's a great gift. For a younger girl who is just getting started in makeup. Like, this would be something that I would totally grab for one of my nieces. I think it's a really good palette for the price, but I don't think that you should expect the same quality that you get from, say, this palette here. So that's just my own personal opinion. You may hear some differing opinions out there. I don't know if there is variation from batch to batch. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't seen a ton of reviews on this because it is just a very recent release from Tarte, but I do think for the money, it's a pretty good holiday set. So I do have some other reviews for holiday sets coming out in the next couple of weeks, probably early October. I purchased some things from Ulta that were recent releases from Tarte and Too Faced. So stay tuned if you want to see some more reviews on some of these holiday kits. I think they tend to be pretty popular and kind of a fun way to get into makeup if you don't normally spend a lot on makeup during the rest of the year. So there's definitely some fun stuff that's coming out. So those are my thoughts on the color wheel. I would give it a thumbs up. It's not a 2 thumbs up kind of deal for me. So I'm keeping it. I'll enjoy it, but I expected just a little bit more from it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave me any questions down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.